When people say, "What's a girl like you doing single?" I kind of just want to hand them the phone and be like, just hop into this app real quick and see, just take a peek and see. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pretty in Kink, and also the last episode of Pretty in Kink. Did I scare you? Did you gasp a little when I said that? Don't be frightened. Don't worry. We're keeping things weird. We're not going anywhere, you guys. I am here with you. But if you attended the staff meeting that I did request you all attend, I might have dropped the news that I was thinking about rebranding. And so this is the last episode of Pretty in Kink. Next week, when I air on the 31st of July, I will be unveiling the new name for this podcast. Am I uncomfortable about it all? 1000%. It is such an uncomfortable thing to think about rebranding so new and fresh into the game. I've only been podcasting for 6 months, so what the fuck am I doing? But I think it's a good idea. So we are going to enjoy this final episode under this amazing name that I will forever cherish, Pretty in Kink. I fucking love it. It makes me really sad to have to put it to sleep, and I might find another use for it because I don't want to let it go. But sometimes we gotta do the hard shit, right? So that's what's happening. So stay tuned for the 31st to find out what the new name is. Pretty in Kink. One last time. Let's do this. And what are we talking about today? Being single. That's right. And why? There's nothing fucking wrong with being single, so you guys leave your single friends alone, all right? Leave them the fuck alone. Quit asking why they're single. Quit making a big to-do about their dating life. It's fucking annoying, all right? Your single friends are okay. I promise you, they're okay. And I find it so interesting that somehow, somewhere along the way, the idea of being single started collecting all these little negative tidbits that grew into this mountain of, if you're single, why? What's wrong with you that you're single? How do you not have a partner yet? It's so fucking fascinating to me versus you're pretty badass that you've been doing all this on your own. You haven't had anybody to lean on. Fuck yeah. Bravo for you. Or how about bravo for you for sticking to your standards, not settling. I know it gets fucking hard out there sometimes. I know. But that you are able to stick to your standards and say, you know what, I'm not going to settle for less. And so, yeah, things might be a little rough. I might struggle. I might get a little lonely, but I'm not giving up and giving in to settling. Where are those conversations? Because it truly is just aw, are you alone? That's sad. We need to stop that. Clearly, you can tell I'm a little passionate about this because I've been single for a long time, and it is just very fascinating to me the comfort level that people have with how they discuss it with me, and it just never feels sometimes like people take into consideration that it's not a bad thing at all. And for me, something that annoys the shit out of me is the comment of what's someone like you doing being single? I can't believe you're single. What's a pretty girl like you doing alone? Stop those things. Stop. When you keep hearing stuff like that, it doesn't matter how confident you are in your decisions in life and where you stand. You hear that constantly, and it's oh, why am I single? Shit, what is wrong with me? It's annoying, and it can just drop these little insecurities, and I don't know. We need to stop it. So if you're coupled up leave your single friends alone. Don't make it this huge topic. And if you're single, you need to remember it is okay to be okay with being alone, but also crave wanting to be with somebody. You can embrace both of those things. I think there's a huge trend right now when you look at social media and any of the people that are posting like, like the self-helpy kind of stuff. And it's like, you need to love yourself first and all that shit. It's true. You do need to love yourself, and you will not be able to properly get like emotionally in with a person if you're not there with yourself, but you can still do it, and you can grow in a relationship, and you can grow with a person. It is okay to be working on yourself, be single, and also go, fuck, I'm fucking lonely, man. Shit, I wish I had somebody to go out with tonight. Or like, I miss the companionship of having somebody by my side, or just stupid shit like missing somebody watching TV with you. It is okay to miss those things and at the same time be okay with being single. I feel like a lot of times right now with social media, it's like you have to take one side. You can't be both. And you can. And it is okay to be both. But I just think it's so interesting, the conversations that surround being single. And there's almost a tone of pity. Why? Literally, why? Why? Because being single truly is impressive. To get through life without leaning on somebody is hard. You look at even like the basic shit of financial stuff, right? Everything is more expensive right now. Like the housing market, fuck you. Now do that solo with one income. It's even harder, right? So when you're able to accomplish shit like that on your own, don't forget to be proud of yourself, and don't forget to recognize your friends or your family that are single and like, hey, you know what? You're doing a good job. Has anyone told you lately? Like, you are doing good, and this is impressive that you are holding the fort down all by yourself. It doesn't need to be a pitying thing, and I don't understand why it's not okay to be single. It's funny. I was inspired to do this episode, and I do joke a lot that I spend most weekends alone, which in turn, then I hear those comments of like, what's a girl like you doing alone? In turn, the reason I'm alone is really because I'm picky. And when I started thinking about this episode, I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring you on a journey with me. I am going to show you why I choose to spend most of my nights alone. Even though I don't love it, I'm at a point where I would certainly love to be in a relationship. I still choose to spend most of my nights alone. And I brought you on the journey to show you why. That video will be going up on my YouTube channel, but basically, I brought you onto the dating apps with me, and I showed you what it was like as I went swiping through Tinder and checking people out on Hinge, so that you could bear witness to my standards as well as what is actually out there. And it's not always pretty, you guys. It is not always pretty. I am picky, and that's okay. That is totally okay to be picky. What you do need to recognize is when you are being too picky, or you're really canceling out a lot of people that if you gave the opportunity, you probably would be like, oh shit, I like this person, or this date was a lot more fun than I expected. We do have to broaden kind of our search requirements, but understand it is always okay to be particular and to stick with your guns with certain standards, and know that for you to choose to stay alone is a power. That's good. And you should be proud of yourself, because I have seen so many people settle in life. And when I start getting sad and like, woe is me, and who wants to come to my pity party while I cry about being alone? My therapist, lovely Wendy, loves to remind me of something. And she always says, Tara, okay, yes, you're surrounded by couples. You see them everywhere you go. You see them at the grocery store. You see them in your friends, in your family. You see them everywhere. How many relationships do you see that you say, that's what I want? That right there. And I thought about it and I was like, none. There's none. And she said, okay, so why are you craving that so badly? Wait until you find what you want. Stop craving these things because you don't need it. You don't need this. Wait until you find what you actually want. And if you reference back to, I did a quick episode on Valentine's Day where I talked about want versus need. It's a really good conversation about recognizing why you might be in a relationship or searching for one. There is a huge difference between wanting a relationship and needing one. And when you need one, you tend to settle, your standards lower, you start putting blinders on to a lot of the red flags. Like, fuck, you start going colorblind. You start looking at that red and you see green because you need to. So that was a powerful thing for me to kind of sit with and go, she's right. You are usually surrounded by people that are paired up. Like it is just how it is. And I am older. So my generation, which makes me feel so fucking old to say that, my generation, for the most part, everybody is settled down. So it's not uncommon for me to go to any type of event. Most people are in a couple, right? Versus if you're like in your early 20s, it's not as abnormal to be flying solo. Once you start getting older, you start getting in your 30s and up, it's like, what are you doing single? But when I started looking at all the couples around me, it was like, yeah, no, there's none that I am like, oh man, why can't I have that? That's what I want. And that made me acknowledge, like, stop trying to rush to find something and to find somebody, because I can wait and I won't settle. I won't. I settled my entire life with my partners and I refuse to ever do it again. And I have this horrendous tendency that once I'm in, I don't know how to get out. And so I refuse to ever again settle and put myself into something that is going to tie me down and trap me. It's not a good feeling. I have been in mediocre relationships. And was it comfortable to have somebody to go home to? Yes, it was. Was it comfortable to have somebody hug me when I was sad? Honestly, no, because the people I was with, they weren't proper connections. And so it didn't feel good. Yeah, I mean, yay, you have this like built-in +1 for going to concerts or events and, going out to dinner. But at the end of the day, I didn't have anything that I was like, man, this is great. This is the love story I always expected and dreamed of. No, I was in mediocre and I was in settlement. I had settled so fucking bad. So now I refuse to do that. I won't do it. I won't settle. It does make things hard. I have had to expand my horizons a little bit because I was very specific about what I was looking for. And I've over the last year started kind of scratching some of those things out. There's some things that I need to stick to that I won't budge on. And there's other things where it's like, well, you know what? I'll give that a try. I'll see how that goes. And I have been pleasantly surprised. So just if you're single and you're just feeling like, and your friends are giving you shit about it and you just feel bad about it, just remember it is okay. And sometimes you need to give yourself the grace of, just go on a dating app for a minute and realize like, okay, it's okay that I'm single. And I hope that doesn't sound mean, girl. It's just, you know, it's rough out there, you guys. It's rough. It's rough. And like I said, I brought you on the journey of swiping. I am not a mean girl in the sense of like, I did not share anybody's profiles. None of that is visible. But I just share, I share my reactions. I share some of the things that I see. And it really, when people say, what's a girl like you doing single? I kind of just want to hand them the phone and be like, just hop into this app real quick and see, just take a peek and see, because it's it's a lot. It's a lot. So anyways, that is it for today. If you're single, you're badass that you're single. Don't let people make you feel bad about it. Like, think about it. This world is fucked up right now, yo, right? Like, it is fucked up. And when you look at like the financial side of life right now, oof, it's bad. So if you're out there solo and single right now, like fucking doing it, pat yourself on the back. Do not let anybody make you feel weird about it, that you're single or like, what is wrong with me? Give yourself credit, because it is badass right now to be walking this life solo, to be paying your bills solo, to be dealing with all of these stresses and not having somebody to come home to just like cry to. You're fucking awesome. And if you're partnered up and you've got the single people in your life, think about that. Instead of asking your friends like, man, when are you gonna meet somebody? What are you doing? Why are you still alone? Like, maybe you got to do something different. Maybe look at them and be like, how the fuck are you doing this? I am proud of you because you're doing this shit alone, and it's hard doing it with a partner by your side. You're amazing for doing this alone. Remember that. Pat yourself on the back. You're amazing if you're single. Don't feel bad about it. And everyone, please, just stop asking, why are you still single? I don't know, Karen. How the fuck did you ever get married? Who the fuck wanted to marry you, Karen? I want to know, but I'm not going to actually ask you that. So stop asking why I'm still single. Sorry, Karen. I'm sorry. That was moody. I don't feel good. I'm sorry. Anyways, my little rant is over. Be sure to go give me a rating, subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, get out there, be fucking weird, and you better show up next Monday, the 31st. I expect to see you. I'm going to bring extra donuts and coffee to this staff meeting because this is a big one where we're going to unveil the new Pretty in Kink. You better fucking be there or I'll rate you up. All right? Go get weird. And I joke. So, oh my fucking God. I'm also going to drop you guys like a quick little video. Not a video. Get your shit together, yo. I don't like any of it. Next week when I air on January, we are not in January, my friends. I don't know where I want to go with this. I don't like it. Am I single? Do I need to be? Could I easily not be? Yeah, 100%. I could go out tomorrow and get somebody to commit to me, and I don't mean that sounds so fucking cocky. So for this episode, I wanted, oh, my shoulder just went kapoop. This is so rambly, it's fucking ridiculous. Hey, are you still here? Did you listen all the way to the end? A, thank you. That takes some dedication. B, because you're such a dedicated listener, I thought I would drop you a little Easter egg and give you a little treat and let you be an insider on some juicy information. The new relaunch, the rebrand, it's going to be Pretty Uncomfortable. Like, that's the name. That's the name. Pretty Uncomfortable. You get to know first because you're a dedicated listener. So anyways, if you are here and you got this Easter egg, shoot me a DM and let me know because I want proof of how dedicated you are. So come see me on Instagram, Pretty in Kink Podcast. Send me a DM, all right? Thanks for listening this long. I really appreciate it.